In this series, we're going to be testing different builds, different kind of niche things, different runes, see what's good on who. We'll do some interesting picks in here. I have 2 or 3 ideas, but here's the series and enjoy. Fimbulwinter Trundle! So the idea behind this build is to be as tanky as possible and actually have the mana to spam all your abilities on cooldown in the mid and late game. Early game, you're going to be a little bit weak because you have to build tier. But level 1, you are super strong, and you could bully your lane opponent and even get a kill. Here, I don't do it because I also know that Yone is very strong, and I'm playing for mid to late game anyway. So it's not really going to matter if I get a kill here or not. I just try to farm up CS and use my innate sustain to stay in lane, get XP, get gold, and get to my items. I'm literally trolling. Though I've been poked down to about half HP, my innate sustain for my passive allows me to stay in lane and soak this XP and gold. Another reason why Fimbulwinter I think will work out very well on Trundle is because it seems like a pretty flexible second item. It offers you HP, mana, and one of the things that Trundle, and a shield once it upgrades, but one of the things that Trundle really had a problem with was mana sustain. So if you can get an early tier and kind of sacrifice a bit of that early game power for mid game Fimbulwinter Spike, I think it's going to be a really good item, and we might see a resurgence of Trundle top. I mean, since this mana sustain is so bad in lane, buying an early tier might not be that much of a detriment to him in the early game. You could spam your mana on your WEQ off cooldown. The high mana abilities, W lets you stay in lane longer. You know, here's a little trick. If you have a big wave crashing into you at tower, when the cannon minion's about to die, hit W. It's going to give you 20% more health off that cannon minion death. So it's like, the more mana you have, the more sustain you'll have, the more damage you'll have, and the more slows you'll have from pillar. So it might not be that bad of an idea for early game. So in this segment, I am just chilling. I'm playing back and trying to absorb XP and gold as I can. I'm sustaining in lane with my passive, but levels 3 to 5 on Trundle are kind of awkward because unless you've all-in them multiple times, which you can do that, you're going to get poked down in lane by pretty much any top laner. In Yone's case, he has a semi-ranged ability, that's his Q, and his Q3. So you just hang back, try to sustain in lane, and then on the first buy, you come back with tier, and you can actually all-in them without losing all of your mana. Here, I fight him, and I use my RE combo after kiting him back a little bit, and to my surprise, I actually have mana to continue staying in lane. And I'm surprisingly tanky due to my resolve tree. I took the Grasp of the Undying rune. So this is what I was talking about. I have mana to sustain in these fights, and I can actually finish him off here with some Qs rather than just back off because I have no mana. But I have mana. Yay. And 15 minutes later, I have 3k HP and my Frostfire Gauntlet with Fimbulwinter combo, and this is what the ensuing fight looked like. As you can see, I'm just straight running it. Like, no one can really touch me. No one can take me down. It's great. And I do a moderate amount of damage. You can replace Frostfire Gauntlet with Divine Sunderer in tank matchups. You kind of want to switch it up. You want to go Frostfire into squishies because it makes you completely beast mode. And you get great sticking power from the Frostfire Gauntlet's passive, which you don't really have in Trundle's kit. The only other mythic I would recommend on Trundle is Divine Sunderer if you're against a tank. However, I tend to still run Frostfire because of its wave clear, and you really don't need the extra tank shred Since you are going Hull Breaker first in this build, you will usually have the damage to deal with tanks. Yeah, like I said, it's just not worth over the wave clear of Frostfire Gauntlet. So overall, the build is you go back, you buy a tier, and then you build into Hull Breaker first item if you're doing well. If you're not doing so well and you don't find yourself splitting for maybe Frostfire for team fights, and then you round out the build with some extra mana and armor with Frozen Heart. Of course, that third item is situational, but enjoy the build. I think it's pretty strong, and I'll continue to be testing it throughout the preseason. This has been great talking to you at St. John. Mason, please drop a comment about what you think about the build, and drop a like, and peace. I can tank anything, dude. Like, why are you even? I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you. I'm gonna kill you very slowly. Dude, why are you